Alright, so today we're going to do a tutorial on cBioPortal. You can find it by going to Google, going to the search bar, cBioPortal. It'll show up pretty quickly. First link is exactly what you want. And home page. So all the good stuff really just happens in this query area right here. But you know, it's good to explore the rest of the website. So if we go at the top, we can see data sets. And we get the breakdown of, well, pretty much all the major cancer genome studies that have been published so far. So you can see there are a lot from TCGA, from the Broad, Genentech, etc. And yeah, you can see how many samples there are, what kind of data they have for each kind of sample. And yeah, so let's just focus on AML. And we get the breakdown of how many mutations per patient here. So generally not that many mutations in AML, which is expected. You can see, yeah, the same idea, how many mutations per patient. You can see what are the most commonly mutated genes across all patients. So yeah, this is just a really, high-level analysis of the dataset. But if we want to go into detail, we can move away from the dataset page and to the home page again. So, the query. Again, you can select which particular one you're interested in. For now, I'll just select all the cancer studies. You can say, do you want to look at mutations and copy number, or just one and the other? So here we'll just do both. And enter some genes that you're interested in. So here I'm just going to do EGFR and KRAS because these are pretty well known. Press submit. Now you just got to wait for it to load a bit. Shouldn't take too long. Yeah, it's highly dependent on your internet speed pretty much. Okay, here we go. So percentage wise, you can see how often that gene set you entered, how often that gene set is mutated. So in pancreatic adeno, you see 95% of the cases have a mutation in either EGFR or KRAS, which is highly significant, obviously. So if you want to see the details, you can click on that particular bar for pancreatic adenocarcinoma. But yeah, you can see the general distribution of mutations. So anyway, we're going to click on it, and here we go. So it turns out that in pancreatic adenocarcinoma, 95% of the mutations are KRAS, and none of them have a mutation EGFR. So that tells you something interesting. You can get the breakdown of specifically what happens in the mutations here. If you want to select the other one, you just go to this top bar here. EGFR has the mutation, so this isn't too interesting. KRAS. Alright, so this is very interesting actually. You can see that there are only 2 places where KRAS has a mutation, and it's highly recurrent. So there's 90 instances of that G12D mutation, which we already know is an activating mutation. So I guess that's not too interesting. But here you can see the breakdown of where along the particular transcript the mutations are found, and you can see all the details. If you scroll down, see which patient has what kind of mutation. Yeah, so that's effectively what you can do here. You can see that. You can also see how many mutations each patient has, so you can get an idea. Mutual exclusivity, in this case, not too interesting. It's saying if these 2 genes are mutually exclusive in alteration, so maybe they're never mutated together, or that kind of thing. In this case, not too interesting. The network, this is a manually curated network of gene interactions. So as expected, PI3K connects EGFR and KRAS. I mean, these kinds of things, that's all manually curated, so many of these interactions are kind of known. You can download a summary of all these things. However, you could have just saved all those previous figures as PDFs, but nonetheless, if you want a text format, tab delimited kind of thing, you could just copy-paste these into Excel or something. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you want to change which genes you're interested in, press Modify Query at the top. Here, we're just probably going to stick with the same cancer study, and we can select a different gene now, so P53. Okay, so it looks like 33% of these cases have a mutation. But, let's get 2 genes so we can get a more complicated comparison. So we see here that there is overlap between the P53 mutations and the KRAS mutations. So each particular bar is 1 patient, by the way. They're oriented and aligned in the same order. So that's easy for comparisons. Mutual exclusivity, in this case there's no association anyway, but this might be interesting in a different situation. Again, you can modify the query, pick a different data set, and for the most part, that's all you really need to know for using cBioPortal. It's very intuitive, web-based portal. Yeah, just try out any interesting genes you have on whatever cancer type you're interested in. Thanks, and hope you enjoyed the tutorial.